Goody. I'm a consultant in assisted conception and reproductive medicine at Fertility Plus and at Fertility Courses. So today I'm going to talk to you about a subject which has already been debated and questioned, and I think we've been thinking about this for many years. Does the association with oral contraceptives and tubal ligation, is there a risk of early natural menopause? And the reason is, why has this been asked in such a large number? That's because these two methods of contraception seem to be, in the last 20 years, a mainstay of contraception. Now, if you look at the American data, 65% of women in the reproductive age group between 15 and 49 years use some form of contraception, with a large number of close to 26% using the pill, and the rest, about 21%, using tubal sterilization. Now, the oral contraceptive pill does change the hormonal profile by manipulating hormonal levels and leads to contraception, but a tubal ligation, in fact, disrupts the communication between the uterus and the ovaries and also disrupts the blood supply. So if you look at the older studies, and they suggested that by taking the pill, there's a split in studies. Some studies did suggest that the length of menopause may be delayed by a few years, but this could also be complicated by the age at which the oral contraceptive pill was taken. Now, with the tubal ligation, there's some evidence that by tubal ligation reduces the risk of ovarian cancer in the future, and that is due to disrupting the blood supply. But by disrupting the blood supply, there is also some evidence that it leads to an earlier menopause. Now, this is a phenomenally large study, and if you have a look at the study, it involved very much a survey, and they looked at women before the age of 45 years, and the mechanism was to look at the risk of early menopause. And it was from 1989 to 2017, and a question and a survey was taken and sent across. So if you have a look at it, it was a huge number of women who had been studied. So if you look at the results, what do the results tell us? They tell us, I think, three main things. One, that by taking the oral contraceptive pill, it seemed to be safe. It does not seem to delay the onset of menopause or give you premature menopause. But what this study did indicate is that if the oral contraceptive pill was started later on, then it is possible that you may be delaying menopause. And I think what's probably happening there is that by starting the pill in the 30s or 35, 36, you are probably masking the effect of menopause coming. Again, in this study, a large number of women were between the ages of 19 and 45. So you had a younger age group that came through. In the 1.6 million person years, the early menopause was in about 2,579. And again, the pill was not associated with this. So what does this study to a large extent tell us? Remember, it's a huge study which is done, and it has looked at other factors. It has looked at studies which have been conducted by other papers, and some of which have indicated that by giving the oral contraceptive pill, you may be delaying menopause slightly, but this study did not find it. Now, if you again have a look at the association between starting the pill later, and that could be masking the effect. They also looked at studies looking at the American Swan study and also looking at the nurses study, where there was some evidence of menopause being lengthened. Now, with tubal ligation, I think there was absolutely no doubt that menopause years were earlier. And again, if you just have a look at the numbers, there were about 20,153 women who had the tubal ligation done, and the menopause seemed to come slightly earlier. There was a study done in the United States which was looking at the US sister study, which did not find any evidence. But again, the tubal ligation done there also suggested that it was done on a slightly older age group compared to this. Now, this study is quite a good study in terms of its data. Again, with any study, there has been limitation, but it gives us quite an important understanding into what these two types of contraception do. Now, it was in this study, almost more than 106,000 women who were premenopausal were questioned. And there seems to be that, again, summary where we would say that in women who have been taking the pill for a long time, there does not seem to be an early menopause, and that's a safety factor. But those women who had the tubal ligation at a younger age may head towards an early menopause due to disruption of the blood flow. It's quite a complex study and quite a study with a lot of statistics. So I've tried to simplify it into coming through very simple endpoints. Thank you very much.